Hi, and welcome to this quick how to help video on using Pythagoras' theorem. I think over the years, I have seen many students just struggle a little bit with the formula. It feels quite overwhelming. There's 3 different letters and there's powers, and it can just seem a little scary. So I'm hoping that I can give you a little tip that's going to make this feel a lot easier. So let's just crack straight on with it. First thing to note is, in order to even use this formula, I need to have a right-angled triangle. And that right-angled triangle will have 2 edges that have been given to me. I have to have 2 edges in order to find the third. So if I've got a problem where there's no right angle, it's one of 2 things. I can either pop a line in that's going to help me create a right angle and then use Pythag, or it's not a Pythag question, okay? So I don't want us to get too overwhelmed by the formula. So we're going to use color to help us get through it. So the first thing I want us to do is look at the right angle and consider the right angle. Ooh, let's get a pen. Consider the right angle pointing to 2 of the edges. That right angle is pointing to this edge and it's pointing to this edge. And those 2 edges are this part of our formula. So if I had numbers on this edge and this edge, they would live here. I leave this one blank. It's uncolored and the end part is uncolored, so I can match it up that way. So let's have a look at this actually in action. I am going to stick 3 centimeters and 4 centimeters on those edges. I'm going to label that X. That is the edge that I'm being asked to find. So this would be my process. I would put my arrowheads on and highlight my edges. And then I would write my formula and highlight the first side of it. Okay, this side of the equals. Now I would go and get the information from the diagram. So my first letter is a blue edge. So I can go over here and I can choose whichever one I like. They're both blue and it doesn't matter what order I do them in. So there's no rule there. So this blue edge has got a 3 on it. So I'm going to change the A to 3. But remember the power, okay? That A has a power 2 on it, so my 3 has a power 2 on it. I then get the other blue edge, which is 4. And remember my power. That is going to equal my uncolored edge, which is labeled X squared. Technically, I could leave that as C squared, or I could change it to how it looks in the question. I like using what's in the question because then I don't get so confused with all the different letters that are going on. Now, I've got some maths that I can do here. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. I still have some maths that I can do because I can now add those and I get 25. So I've now got 25 equaling my X squared. I am now at the stage where I have to sort of say, right, if I want to know what X equals, I've got to get it on its own. To get X on its own, I am going to need to pick up that power 2, and I'm going to need to move it to the other side. It's got to go. It can't stay there if I want X on its own. So it's got to go onto the other side. When it lands as its opposite, as its inverse. So the opposite of a square is a square root. So it's going to land like this. X is now on its own and it equals 5. So X equals 5, X equals 5. Doesn't matter which way around I write that, but I have found the missing edge. It is 5 centimeters. Okay. Right, let's do another question and see this again. So this time we have got our right angle triangle. So let's put the right angle in. We are going to have 12 centimeters here. We'll have 6 centimeters there. That can be our X. And that is our question. So I would be looking at that going, okay, it's a right angled triangle and it's a missing edge. This is Pythag. I've got two edges to help me. It's Pythag, absolutely. So it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that would be my first step. My next step would be to locate the right angle, get those arrowheads on so it's really clear that it's this edge and this edge. It's the edges that make the right angle that links to that part of my formula. Now I'm going to go and get my information from the diagram and I'm going to put it in my formula. So this edge here doesn't have a number on it. It has an X on it. So I'm going to replace the A with the X and remember to put that power on. And then I've got plus the other blue side, which does have a number. It's the number 6. So that's going to change to 6 squared. And then my uncolored edge has a value of 12. So remember to keep that power. At this stage, I have some maths I can do. So I can't do anything with the x squared because I don't know what the number is, but I can do 6 squared. 6 squared is 36, and 12 squared is 144. And I've reached the point of, if I want to know what x equals, I've got to get it on its own. So the 36 has to go, the power 2 has to go, and then I will have x on its own. So the last thing I say, x squared plus 36. The last thing I say is going to be the first thing I hop. So my plus 36 lands as minus 36. I've now got x squared left on that side. And I've got 108 when I do that piece of maths on that side. So I'm getting closer to that x being on its own. And now that power 2 can move across. It will land as its opposite, and x is equal to 10.392. On and on it goes. 10.4 centimeters to 1 decimal place. And they are the two different things that you would see with Pythag. Okay. Hopefully that has helped. Thank you for taking the time to watch this Target Maths video. And I will see you, I'm sure, in the future. If there's ever a video that you would like, do give me a shout.